Here we are again with making a kilt in semi-real time. I've been off to the store. I've got my properly colored thread. I've done the usual 3 back stitches, and I've marked the chalk for the width of the pleat at waist and seat, and I begin stitching, bringing it up to both the chalk lines. And I think I mentioned when I was working in the other apron, when I'm doing the pleats, I give it 2 back stitches, but I do 3 because, again, these seams appear to be under a little extra tension. They get beat up a little bit more, so a little bit extra reinforcement there. Okay, this is good. This thread, which isn't a perfect color match. It's slightly more gray, and it's ever so slightly darker than the gray of the material, but it's looking pretty good. And the usual at least 8 stitches per inch. Quilting pad is under this. I'm not pricking the table. It's actually after 6 o'clock, so I'm sort of in overtime, but I'm going to finish this seam, and I'm going to baste the deep pleat in place, and then I'll break for dinner. Almost there. Right, there's that seam done, and now I go below and the herringbone seam or herringbone stitch to secure the very deep apron pleat to the canvas. And once again, yes, the thread was too short, so I grabbed a spare piece of thread that was sitting to one side. Doesn't matter if the color's wrong because it's going to be out of sight. Nobody's going to see it. And those two knots that I pointed out earlier, they're going to be, that's wonderful. They're going to be on the inside of the apron pleat, between the apron and the apron pleat. So they're only going to be visible to somebody who really has to go tunneling and looking for them. So that's a happy accident. I can still remember to show them to the client so that he doesn't stumble upon them at some point in the future and then attack them, you know, like pull on them or cut them or anything like that. Okay. Right. Join the two threads. 1, 2, 3. Take this right to the end. Good, yeah, nice and secure. 2, 3. Pardon me. Okay, needle is away, thread is clipped. Now, there's my canvas, now because of that apron pleat, the canvas is sort of pulled down, and we don't want that. So let's dress the outer edge, the top edge of the apron, to the top edge of the canvas, and the deep pleat. Well, let's throw a pin in there, and that'll keep it. Now it's time to baste this thing. So there's a bit of basting thread. My basting needle, there you are. Get the damn thing through the eye of the needle. There we go. Okay, so starting back at the edge of the apron, back stitch to secure it. Because once again, this isn't waxed or knotted, because it's going to be removed once its purpose has been achieved. Get that pin out of there. There we are, right to the end. Now, if you're doing a more dramatic A-line where you've had to resort to clever folding inside here, and I'll be doing that, I think 1 or 2 kilts from now. A friend of mine, I'm doing a Seaforth kilt for one of my old mates, and he's asked for as dramatic an A-line in the apron as I may achieve. So there's no confusion about what exactly he wants there. So I'm going to have a bit of fun experimenting with that, because again, I'm not tremendously good at it. So we'll see how I... Okay, that's ridiculous. Apparently there's a knot in the thread right there, which prevents it from... which won't pass through the eye of the needle. Frustrating. Oh, come on. Get in there. There we go. Okay, take up where the last one left off. So again, yeah, this really helps when you're hold the kilt together when you're sewing it up and then later pressing it. And it's absolutely vital if you're sewing a kilt with a really dramatic A-line, because you need to hold everything in place before you press it. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to stop at this point because finding the tape that once again has dropped to the floor. What's his waist again? His waist is 37 waist. Waist. Okay. What's his hip? 43. Okay. Bang there. So tomorrow he'll be by. I'll fit it to him. We'll see how the apron hangs, because if it's actually on his figure and gravity helps us, I can baste it in place. We'll get it right the first time, because we want to avoid pressing the apron so that the corner turns up, because you see that on far too many kilts. And then I'll chalk the A-line on this hip, and then from there I'll make the fringe and we'll finish the apron. So check with me probably, hopefully, as soon as tomorrow. Right, dinner time.